Welcome to the Ryder and Lisa podcast.
Unfiltered laughs, honest conversations, and everything in between.
This is your backstage pass to the best moments from Ryder and Lisa.
On demand.
Powered by Always Plumbing and Heating.
What is the most you've ever spent on art?
I don't really buy art. I guess I don't know, $100 at HomeSense on like a really big portrait of a horse. I love horse pictures. But I'm not a horse girl. Like, I actually think I'm allergic.
Right. So specific.
I have two girlfriends that are taking horse lessons for the first time right now. Yeah, they've been doing it for the last few weeks. It's like a 6-week program where you go in and you just learn so much about the animals and you pet them and brush them and feed them. You have to put your hair in a braid. They're told to put their hair in a braid. I think it's so like the horses don't bite it off.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe they would think it's hay.
I don't know. Yeah, they got to like pull it away from
Hay?
their faces. Yeah, hey. Anyway, so that's the most I've spent on art. Probably $100 on a picture of a horse.
Ever only bought one big painting, and it was
How much?
$300 or $400.
Okay.
The reason I bring this up is Blink 182's Mark Hoppus is auctioning off his Banksy painting that he bought many years ago.
Okay. You rich people love expensive art.
It's expected to sell for $6.3 million.
Holy.
Yeah.
If I'm spending that much money on art, I have to dedicate hours a day to stare at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd constantly be anxious that like somebody's going to rob me.
Or spill on it.
Or spill.
I guess you'd put it in like a glass thing.
I don't know what kind of parties you're having.
Am I a bad person for not noticing people's art or even acknowledging that it could be expensive or real? I don't know the difference between a printed out Mona Lisa and the real one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, sorry.
Well, you don't have to. Right?
Why?
Well, because you're never going to have to get in that game.
What are you talking about? I could be a socialite.
Yeah, but you're never going to be an art collector.
No. But I wouldn't mind being invited to those parties. I bet the champagne is free.
I've seen you buy knockoff Nikes just because you didn't want to pay the extra $30 for actual ones.
It's true. The swoosh was upside down. Didn't care.
Show you're big into and introduced to me. Thank you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm now a pretty big fan of as well. The White Lotus has returned for season 3. And it is a show that is gaining popularity drastically year over year.
The director and writer, Mike White, he actually wrote School of Rock. And he was in it with Jack Black.
So good.
So good. He also was a contestant on one of the seasons of Survivor. And apparently every season of White Lotus, there's only 3 so far, he brings someone that was also a contestant in as like a small role.
Oh, that's fun.
How cool is that?
Seems like a cool guy to know.
Totally.
Right? Like, what an interesting life. It would be fun to just sit down and have
Just
a dinner
talk to
with
him.
that guy. Yeah, pick
Well, and
his
he's
brain a
so
bit.
talented. Like when you watch The White Lotus, the way that he romances these travel destinations too, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, everyone's going to be going to Thailand because that is the location of season 3 of The White Lotus.
So if you haven't watched it before, a quick Cole's notes, and I'm no expert, but just from what I've seen, it starts off every season with something very drastic happening, and then it rewinds a week or so.
Someone's always dead in the first scene. You don't know who or how they got killed.
And then it slowly introduces all the characters, and then you try to figure out, it's kind of like a murder mystery. Try to figure out who did it for the whole season.
And The White Lotus is a travel destination, like a resort. And all these characters, majority of them are terrible people.
Yeah. It has like Succession vibes a little bit.
It's
some
got
of the characters.
a lot of privilege.
Uh-huh.
But this year, they changed the theme song, and people are a little bit taken aback because it's one of those shows, there's few and far between, that you don't skip the intro.
Well, yeah, and I was just learning how to play the original theme on my throat.
What?
I've been practicing playing it on my throat.
Okay. Do you have audio of the actual song for people to compare? Can I hear yours again? Okay, kind of glad that they changed the song now that I think about it.
But now I got to learn this one. Maybe this one's on you.
I'm not doing
You gotta
anything.
start with no. Just trying to think of what sounds might work for this.
Okay, but why? Why are we doing this?
I have a pretty wild story I'd like to share with you. You like talking about when people get arrested for ridiculous things, right?
Yeah.
2 men in Colorado have been accused of using a cannon to attempt to launch tobacco and meth into a Louisiana prison.
Sorry, what are they using?
An air cannon. It can shoot 35 feet up in the air. And so they packed it with meth and tobacco and tried to shoot it over the wall.
Wouldn't staff members see this, security guards?
I think that's maybe what happened, is they were busted and arrested a short time later.
I mean, sounds fun. Like, as a criminal, majority of your life, pretty hardcore. You know, not a lot of fun to be had. Mm-hmm. So to be like, wait, how are we getting the drugs over the wall?
Yeah, rolling up the cannon, gotta be an exciting moment in your life.
Brings you back to childhood, for sure.
Especially if you could get that over to the guys, you'd be such a hero.
You'd be so pumped.
I feel like it's a little bit wild that they classify those two things together. Like, they're like, yeah, they got busted trying to shoot over $112,000 worth of tobacco and some meth.
It's a strange combination.
Like can't they just hand the tobacco?
Yeah.
Let the guys smoke in
How
there.
does that work? I think they have to roll their own cigarettes.
I don't think you're allowed to smoke anymore in prisons.
Really?
Yeah. That's what... When I spent a little time in the clink, they wouldn't let me smoke.
Ryder, you were in the drunk tank for an hour.
And they wouldn't let me smoke.
We're asking you what the ultimate retirement plan is in your mind. What is your goal? My girlfriends and I always talk about living together. Just us in a house. When we're old is what I mean.
Yeah.
Taking care of each other as much as possible. Us and our dogs, you know?
I was a part of a conversation with my parents and like 2 or 3 of their best friends, couples, and they were legitimately starting to come up with plans about building a little spot where there would be room for the 3 couples and a full-time nurse.
Oh, wow.
And they would just...
have their own little retirement home.
Yeah.
With their besties.
I was like, that sounds so dope, except for you're all grumpy. You would end up disliking each other after
Maybe
a
not.
week.
Maybe that is what would bond them.
Yeah.
They can complain to each other. So we wanted to talk about this after a video of a man has gone viral. And a woman's filming him. He's sitting on the side of the road. Looks like a busy area in downtown of wherever this is. Looks like a warmer climate spot. And he just sits there with a bag of treats waiting for dogs to approach, for them to walk by with their owners. He's even walking up to cars that are at red lights. It's not like a heavy, like high traffic area, so it's decently safe. And when a dog sticks his head out the window, he asks the owner, hey, can I give him a treat? It's the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. We have it posted on our socials, so feel free to go give it a like. Go watch it.
He is so sweet.
He is the sweetest old man.
He's got swag too. He's wearing some like white New Balances with hiked up socks, which probably a few years ago we would have made fun of, but now he's just killing it.
He looks great. And you know what? He looks happy and healthy. And I do believe that animals can keep you that way, or having a hobby that brings you joy
100%.
keeps you healthier.
Yeah, I'm going to spend far too much time on the golf course.
You think so?
And
What if you can't do it anymore? Are you worried about like your elbows and?
That's why I go to the gym. I'm just prepping for retirement golf.
You know what? We had a listener tell me once that they saw you at the gym and all you do is stand in the corner practicing your swing. So everything makes sense now.
5 simple words, $1,000. It's Ryder and Lisa's 1K wordplay. Brought to you by Out of Bounds Restaurant.
Simone, putting you on the spot here. What's the first thing you would buy if you won $1,000?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, unfortunately, I think that's got to pay off the visa. We just got back from a trip.
Okay.
Boring.
Boring, but also responsible. So good answer.
All right, here's how the game works. You're going to choose Lisa or myself, who will leave the room. We're then going to give you 5 words. Tell us the first word that comes to mind for each. You got a 25-second timer to deal with. We'll invite your teammate back in. They haven't heard any of round 1. They'll play the same game. For every answer that matches, it's $25, so that can add up pretty quick to $100 if you get 4 in a row right. But if you get the 5th, it's $1,000.
Simone, who's your teammate?
Ryder.
Bye, Ryder.
Goodbye and good luck.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Simone, you've got this. Take a deep breath. I'm going to start that 25-second timer after I say the first word. Good luck. What comes to your mind when I say fresh,
Fruit.
bench,
Spit.
shark,
Bite.
mop,
Floor.
ink?
Pen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You crushed that. Let's get Ryder back in the studio. You did
First one's
amazing.
scary.
Oh my gosh. Do you have someone with you right now?
My daughter is with me.
Oh,
and
what's
my
your...
son.
Oh, what are their names? Did we just lose her?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, what are their names? Sorry, Simone, I didn't hear you there.
Callie and Brody.
Woo woo! Hi, Ryder.
Hello.
What comes to your mind when I say shark?
Bite.
$25.
Almost went with
Scared me
attack.
there.
Almost went with attack.
I know.
I've actually got a story about a shark attack. Happened to a Canadian woman coming up after 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Mop.
Bucket.
Floor.
Oh.
Floor's the answer. It's okay. We're not done. What comes to mind when I say ink?
A mop in a bucket. Sorry.
Focus.
Yeah, what?
Ink.
Pen.
$50. Let's keep it going. Bench.
Sit.
$75. And for $100, that'll pay for one meal that Simone ate on her vacation. What comes to mind when I say fresh?
Fruit.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
It's Nicki.
It hurts.
Cardi B. Cardi B's fault.
Is it?
Yeah, she
Okay.
had the
I know.
mop in the bucket.
You're
line.
projecting. Simone, you did amazing. You picked up $100. Thanks for playing Ryder and Lisa's 1K word play.
Thanks so much.
Have a great day. We're so close. What is happening?
I don't know.
Tomorrow's the day. We're going to give away $1,000 tomorrow.
Imagine if all these times that we've been that close, though, we did give away $1,000. How mad management would be with us.
I know. Listen, what did you say for mop? You said bucket? That's
Yeah.
actually not a bad answer.
I
but
know.
Floor, I feel like. I'd love to hear from everyone that plays along. What did you say? Are you Team Ryder or are you Team Simone would have won $1,000?
Streaming at play107.com. Good morning. Look at how bright it is out.
Beautiful.
And by this time tomorrow, it's also going to be warm.
It's going to be hot out in our minds.
Not quite. but-
It'll feel hot to us.
Man, this story is crazy. A Canadian woman has lost both her hands after a shark encounter in Turks and Caicos. She was on vacation. She was underwater trying to get a picture of a shark, which
What?
just Google it. Just
Google the picture?
Google pictures of sharks.
Yeah,
and
Shark
then
Week is like 3 times a year. Just watch it on TV.
Screenshot one of those pictures you find on Google and pretend you took that picture. That's just a much safer option. They might come at you for copyright infringement or something if somebody owns that picture, but still, I think you'd rather that than a shark attack.
What kind of shark was that? I read a hot take online the other day, and it's so true. You don't hear about hammerhead sharks anymore. They were huge in the 90s.
They were.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually, from what I can see, say what kind of shark it was.
You got to think it was a smaller one. Was she just off the shore, or did she jump out of a boat to take this picture? I think that will help us determine.
You are asking a bunch of questions I don't have the answers to, which is really fun.
Yeah, I love doing this to you. Anyway,
Thank you.
Let's just pretend I didn't ask. All
What
right.
was her middle name? Is she okay? She's at the hospital. Did she get a proper blood transfusion? What's her blood type? I don't know. What I know is she was trying to engage with the shark to take a picture of it it bit her on the thigh.
Okay.
She went to push both of her hands to push the shark away, and it bit again and got both of her hands. One like halfway up the forearm and the other one right at the wrist.
Oh my goodness.
She is recovering. She's going to be okay, it sounds like.
How did she get away? That's a lot of blood. Whoa.
And honestly, like swimming, think of the difficulty with that much pain and without the most useful tools when it comes to swimming your hands.
I don't want to upset you, but this does make my question valid. Was she in the middle of the ocean? Was she near the shore? Could she walk to the beach? Sorry. These are just thoughts that I'm sure everyone else is thinking as well.
She was in hip-deep, clear water.
Thank you.
The 7-foot bull shark.
Thank you. Wow. All you have to do is scroll down and read the next paragraph.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to do that when you're doing a radio show. Anyway, there's a GoFundMe for this lady.
Good.
And their goal is $35,000. They're nearly at 32, so they're pretty close.
Awesome.
Because I'm sure the costs associated with that, getting her home and stuff, if they don't have proper insurance, will be a nightmare, too.
That is so scary.
Yeah. Like, I can't think of many things that would be more scary than that, especially the first bite on the leg.
Well, and I think you're in shock, right? You don't even really know that it happened until about, 20 seconds later?
And I would imagine there's times when situations like this shake down that you have no control over, right? You're just, let's say, with a group and you are snorkeling. Mm-hmm. And it randomly happens. But this lady's got to also live with the fact that, like...
She was trying to
interact with a shark. Just a stark reminder, we see it a lot around here. Be very careful with wildlife. We had an old an old host here at the station who...
He approached a buffalo on the side of the road.
They went to get a picture, and it put its head down and did a couple-step charge at him, and him and his wife almost got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, luckily they got in their vehicle in time, but it would have been really bad.
Yeah, the bison stopped. Like, it started to charge, and then it stopped, but if it would have kept going...
It was like, it said, psych.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Ryder and Lisa podcast.
Thanks for being a part of the Ryder and Lisa community. If you liked hanging out with us, don't forget to subscribe and share the laughs with your friends.
Powered by Always Plumbing and Heating.